Hello, YouTube, and welcome on in. We are back in Ace Attorney Trilogy for the true final case of the first game. We proved Miles Edgeworth's innocence in the last game, and we are going to, well, figure out what's in store for us in this one. I hear it's a doozy. I hear this is a colossal case that, might even be about as long as the other cases combined. So, we're gonna see what we can do. But without further ado, let's hop right in. Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. Oh yeah. This is the guy from the police station. The little mascot dude. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. And that is until the day that girl showed up. Yeah. February 22nd, 10:02 a.m. Wright and Co. offices. Stuff that got introduced here that didn't get used for the next game. Is that a factor because of this wasn't in the game originally? I think that's what you said, or someone said that. This was a case that was added, I think, later on in like the Western release, but wasn't there originally in the Japanese release. So maybe that has something to do with it. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Huh? Who are you? Doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. That's not me. She is dead. Well, she's a ghost. Still visits from time to time, but she is dead. I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. I just don't need to be coy, Phoenix. So you are the coffee boy? I mean, that's technically true. I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. That's a relief then. You're better than nobody. Oh, I'm glad my competition is nobody. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you're Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? I mean, thanks to save states, yes, I'm undefeated. Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please, I'm out of time. But, please, you have to help. It's my sister. Maya, could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma. Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? I have nothing but my badge. Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator? Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of, jumpy, or maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. That is young. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known. At my age, no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. Oh my gosh. But I'm ready to do my job. At my age, no less. Great, another future professional in training. So, what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't. So, it's a murder case. I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. Not bringing the easy cases to me, huh? I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact. And there's a witness. Just talk to her. You have to talk to her. Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but... That's interesting. How would she know Mia? Good question. So, you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up, then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Legally speaking, you are, but okay. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigations should be done scientifically. Don't you? Yeah. Sure can't fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. I guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. But what's her relation to Mia? My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school. Okay, so you have older sister. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia's a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. No big deal. Just died in a car accident. I'm sure it's fine. Let's go to the detention center. February 22nd. Detention center visitors room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. God, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. sorry, ma'am. It's just your sister. No excuses. What did you not want to raise this year? Understood, ma'am. What was that all about? Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow, and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. Oh, so we've gone up. We've gone all the way up the chain. First it was us getting out of murder, then we get Edgeworth out of murder, now it's the chief prosecutor. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana. I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Let's talk about the case, then. There's something you should know from the start. Which is, the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. You confessed? Huh? Wait, but the suspect is... Me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. And that's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. Was there a clock in the shape of a thinker involved, or...? The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate car trunk? Classy. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed, as it were. Well, that's just great. Who was the victim anyway? So, who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. Not Gumshoe. Gumshoe's alive, right? Like, he's not dead. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So, you're the chief prosecutor? That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities, in a nutshell. And that's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this? I cut myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she? Why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia. Hey! I was in law school. I was in my 3rd year and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. Oh. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. Sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me? As you can plainly see, I'm admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana... Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana, I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright. Yes. I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed, after all. The case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here. And I'm gonna find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Yeah, in this 3-day trial system they got going on, if the suspect is confessing, I don't quite understand why there's even a trial or how I'm supposed to defend that. My own client is going to completely admit to the crimes. We barely skinned by when Edgeworth was trying to confess to crimes. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know? I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. Yeah, every time someone's convicted, it's basically the death penalty. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of yeah. That is how they play it up. It's like, nope, instant death. They went to a 3-day trial system and installed an express lane to death row. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... well, maybe not. It sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Oh, okay. Nope. Alright. Let's move to the underground parking lot. February 22nd, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. So this is the lot where it all happened? This does not look like an underground parking. Well, I guess it does kind of look. The floor just so matches the wall color. It all looks like it's made of metal as opposed to concrete. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone, keep up the good work. I don't think you should be drawing attention to us. Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they're gonna be my coworkers 3 years from now after all. And if you keep doing that, you're also going to not have a sister anymore. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know when attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes? I'm trying not to stand out too much here, see? Hey there. Expecting to go unnoticed here, partner. Partner? That's not Gumshoe. Oh my gosh, the music. The theme music. What do we have here? Looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch and it's up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall? Of course his name is Marshall. Oh my gosh. Marshall? Looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, Bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a motherload of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Was that a hombre, a friend of yours? Kind of, sort of, yeah. He's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. Well, someone left a wallet. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer. Wait, what are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. Well, at least the two of you are a match made in heaven. Phoenix, why would you hand evidence over to the police? At least in this world. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. Ah. Right next to the steak plates from friggin' the Silver Samurai case. How is that scientific? It sounds like theft to me. Foldable wallet found in the crime scene. There seems to be something inside.
I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay?
By the way, her eyes are sparkling. I can tell she's been waiting for this.
Okay, now look at the court record.
Okay.
You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now let's start examining from every angle.
Oh, yep, there is something inside there. Probably a badge, it looks like.
Oh look, I think there might be a clue there. You should check it out with a press of the A button.
Okay. Oh. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. ID number 5842189.
See? Well, it's scientific isn't scientific investigation useful?
You mean opening a wallet and looking at it? I guess, though I don't see what science has to do with it. Goodman's ID is added to the court record. Is he the victim in this case? Just realized we actually still don't know who the victim is.
Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find.
I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on. Oh, no, Gumshoe's still around. Alright.
Huh, a ladder.
That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? In scientific terms, please.
It's scientific, huh?
Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright.
This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Phone?
Here, a phone. Let's see if it works.
Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching.
I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure?
What is she babbling about?
Hey, what did you just say?
See? You can hear just fine. The phone's broken. It's good to know the phone's broken. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water.
It's heavy. I can't even budge it.
The drum over here is on its side.
Wait, I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout.
I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested.
What? I'm not suspicious.
Jury's still out on that one, boss.
Look, a door. This must mean something.
I'm not sure that doors mean anything.
No, it won't open a mysterious lock.
I failed to see what's mysterious about it.
Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more.
Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Interesting. The little console doesn't have one. Oh, what's this?
Look, a stylish glass wall room. Very nice.
You could see the whole parking lot from in there.
It says security. Perhaps it's a cafe?
Yep, you nailed it.
Huh? Cafe security. Yeah, that must be it. Let's check it out later.
I hate to break it to you, but I think that's probably just a security guard office.
You know, I scored a 97 on my science test the other day.
Okay, that is what's called a non sequitur. Too bad they don't have a test for common sense. Oh boy.
This is where the cars leave the lot.
Mirror on the ground makes it look more like an entrance.
What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit.
Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose?
The theory of relativity.
What? I mean, I understand. It's not an entire stretch.
I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know... Was Mr. Relativity German, or was he British?
Oh boy. You got a 97 on your science test? Was it asking just like which way is up, or... Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name? Oh, interesting. The UI is actually an actual physical object that doesn't let you move the cursor into it. You just ram into it. Alright, I think nope, there's a wall.
This wall is in our way. It's got a faucet for water. Wait, I know. This wall is merely a facade hiding the truth. This is no wall, but a water tank.
I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. Okay. Interesting. Ooh. A name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman.
I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs.
What else would they use?
Letters, silly. They're the reason we have a written language in the first place.
Oh, that's a good question. We're gonna find a body in the water tank? Don't know.
True. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID Yabadab.
Yabadab? What the?
See? Wouldn't that be better?
I fail to see why that's better. Yabadab? Well, it does have a certain ring to it.
Exactly my point.
Doesn't take much to amuse her. Yeah, I figured this was the thing, which is an interesting one. I am surprised that wasn't used in the next game. I mean, it seems logical. Police department. Right, I think I have everything. Yeah. Can I I can slide. There we go. Oh, there's the rest of the crime scene. I was like, there's gotta be more to this. The freaking body outline is just... looks like a freaking deflated man. Oh, it does kind of look like a Supra. I'm not quite sure that that's what it's supposed to be, but it does have some similarities. And there's a cell phone. We have the deflated man.
Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is.
Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of being home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here's our claim. You best be moseying along, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet.
Scary. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car?
Well, little Philly's got a good nose on her. You want to know who rides that red Mustang with the body in his saddle, eh? I mean, it's definitely not a Mustang, but sure.
Please?
No problem, partner. About time for victuals anyway. Victuals? Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor at Prospector's office. Might just find you a cerveza you like. Prospector's office? Where does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter?
Note to self, look up Vittles, Saloon, Cerveza.
Okay, the last one is a beer. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like. Just keep your paws off our claim. Right. Great. Hello, Hell Slices.
Great. Maybe there's some clues around here. Mr. Wright, let's check it out.
Excuse me. Are you two all set?
Us?
Oh. Hello? What's this? She couldn't be.
You're selling lunches here? This is a crime scene. Hello. Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir?
Yes?
Some crunchy goodness coming at you.
Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. I do like the necklace as a little cut hot dog.
This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passers-by. Or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even if my days as the cough-up queen are over.
Excuse me? Cough up? Uh-huh.
You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets.
Is this the witness?
Secrets? Dear me. You are a slow one, aren't you?
Okay, well that's a little uncalled for.
I'm referring to the murder and the stabbing of that detective.
What?
A witness clearly saw me committing the crime.
She does have onigiri on her hat. Or, if you're a Pokemon fan, jelly donuts.
You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about?
Please, cough up, Queen. Tell us what happened.
The name is Angel Star. Don't you forget it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels.
Yes, ma'am. She means it.
Somehow I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon.
Destiny? Was yesterday special for some reason?
You're a defense attorney, right? You should know them. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors. They have no qualms at all about blackening the name of innocence.
I mean, that is fair, based on two of the prosecutors we know.
And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So, she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday? I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find why they call me the cough-up queen. The most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear. This lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors.
In a real case, you could use that clearly as a vendetta to try to question the witness's credibility by saying they have a predisposition against prosecutors. I'm sure that is not at all how this case is going to go.
So, what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Starr? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so... Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic beat of Lana Skye's knife. Wait a second. You know Lana Skye? Of course. It's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunch boxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Starr? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here.
Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Also true.
Did you say something? No? Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tso's Trilobite lunch set.
Well, General Tso's is also, I believe, an Americanized version of a dish, I think. So that's, I don't know if you're a connoisseur at that point.
Never mind, you win.
I don't even want to appreciate part of a Trilobite's flavor.
Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office.
It's another conflict of interest. If I was building an actual case, sure that will come up.
Your boyfriend? see the security room over there? The glass-walled booth? I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him.
Since you're here anyway? I guess selling lunches is more important than romance.
So, to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here.
Useful analysis? Not? Yeah, the necklace is actually kind of cute, not gonna lie. But it is funny. Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Starr? I sense some hostility.
Hostility? Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in the chowder.
I wonder if Miss Starr was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past.
That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course.
That is true.
I mean, now you're talking, cough up queen.
I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. Very interesting. Well, is there anything else? No. So we're going to the High Prosecutor's office. Oh, they got a silver samurai. And why is like Edgeworth's coat hung up on the wall? I'm guessing that trophy is King of Prosecutors. Interesting. Some chess pieces. It's taking in the scene.
This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really.
Okay. No need for cheap shots. Come on now. Thanks.
Look. There's a trophy or something here.
I wonder if it was like that or if it was damaged.
A trophy?
What, that shield?
It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk.
I have a feeling I know whose office this is. The King of Surfers, yeah. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Did I guess right? I sure did. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Have you not seen him in like the last 2 months? You just ghosted him, Phoenix? Come on.
Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth?
You know him from somewhere?
Of course. I'm his biggest fan.
Oh, boy.
My sister introduced us once and...
Right. Her sister is the chief prosecutor, after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you. I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk.
No, did I? No! It was just Mr. Wright here,
Hey, don't blame me!
We're just here to investigate a murder case.
Murder?
A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot.
Emma, I'm gonna have to ask you to use your 2 brain cells to put 2 and 2 together and imagine what was just said to us by the lunch lady and whose car that might be. Very true. Again. Did you shoot more people? Did you kill more people, Edgeworth?
That would be my car. What of it? What? Your car? I'll say one thing, she certainly can scream. So, the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who Okay. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean... Wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Yes, sir. Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Oh, now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit it was a surprise for me too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt.
Oh, great. We have to go up against you again.
I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Mama Skye is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You, Mr. Edgeworth? And to be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others.
Well, I'm sure you don't give them opportunities, Edgeworth, and someone like you never. That's good.
It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. Huh? They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Skye, yes. We first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago. I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car?
Okay, time out, Edgeworth. Phrasing here. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. Do you mean, why did she stab someone and put them in your car? Or why did she stab someone who was in the trunk of your car? Because those are two very different things. Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. Why do you have... Okay.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon?
To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. Why do you keep a knife in the toolbox in the trunk of your car? The murder weapon. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, traces of victim's blood, no prints. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can you take a joke?
You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright.
I could say the same to you. I don't have anything. Actually, do you know who this is? Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he?
Wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth. Then my sister would be found guilty.
If he sighs any deeper, I'm gonna start getting depressed. Well, guess we can't do anything here. Examine the rest of the room, huh? I've been wondering, what the heck is this?
And it's a big K on it.
Prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy.
King of Prosecutors?
It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. Oh, was that... Oh, sorry. That was her. What? So that K, that's...
K stands for king.
Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing.
King of Prosecutors. Kind of like Employee of the Month, only better.
Give it to Edgeworth, King of Prosecutors at the prosecution on the day of the murder. Or does that mean police department? Or prosecution department? I don't quite know what PD stands for in this case. Okay. Interesting that that didn't...
So that's the King of Prosecutors shield, huh?
Well done, Edgeworth. You must be proud to be the King of Prosecutors.
Congratulations, King of Prosecutors.
Please stop saying that. This doesn't explain one thing. Why is the tip of the shield broken off? That's true.
Wow, this jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket.
Lucky jacket? Right. I've never seen him wear it.
I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in a frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture.
She's getting way too excited about this. Can we look at the Silver Samurai?
My. What an amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth.
No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before.
And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one.
Huh? And there's something written on the bottom of its foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy.
Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiance?
It's freaking old bag. It's old bag. I don't think so. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, cute. What a pretty tea set. I go more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing. The drawers below are filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concoction.
There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far.
Hey, a chessboard.
I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like Blue's in a bit of a tight spot.
The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn.
Huh?
Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn, his head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. A work desk. It's quite tidy, as one might expect.
What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection.
Strange. Why did I just Detective Gumshoe?
Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir.
Got another kleptomaniac on our hands? Don't, he'll sue you. There's a ladder in the books.
Whoa, these are all case files? And they're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder.
Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights.
He must have someone get them for him.
Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe?
He must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool.
You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. Alright, I think I've got everything. Oh, we got the couch.
Mr. Edgeworth has such a comfy sofa.
Sofas like this make me want to curl up and take a nap.
I bet he pores over those case files here until the wee hours of the morning. And then he takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to sleep using his arms as a pillow.
I don't believe it. She's actually daydreaming about Edgeworth working.
I bet in the morning he has sofa hair and little creases in his cheeks from the seams.
Oh my gosh.
He's so cool.
Sofa hair is cool? Yeah, nothing else for me, right? Alright. Well. Nothing. Okay. Nope. Alright, well there's something I've missed, clearly. Can I present it to her? Or like maybe this. Could you take a look at this? Yes?
You said you wanted some hot tea, right?
No, but thanks. She didn't even look at me.
You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get rich flavor like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it, so that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time.
Maybe this?
About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady? Why? It's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked?
Interesting. Well, could you take a look at this? Ah, okay, no. Okay. Nothing. Can't slide anymore. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, can I present her my attorney badge?
A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tacking Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy.
A box of pickles? Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. Right? Yeah, Edward, you got anything else?
I once dreamed of being a defense attorney a long time ago. What? You wanted to be a defense attorney, Mr. Edgeworth? Yet my path is laid out clearly before me. I have no time to reflect on what might have been.
So basically, this says you were the best of the best last year, huh?
You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, Mr. Wright. I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why's that?
It was the police department.
I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield.
The police department?
Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works, yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right.
He doesn't seem too concerned about his award, for better or for worse.
Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday?
Yeah.
Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. With an annual review and rewards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield. I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12.
The murder was at 5:15.
That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence.
There you go. Got the parking ticket. Parking stub.
This is the parking stub from the underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back? What, right? I'd appreciate if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere.
What in the world?
Excuse me, But is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises?
I'm Edgeworth. What is it?
I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all.
Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir.
I think I heard Edgeworth's lid blow.
Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it?
I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated.
Sir, I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with us, sir.
Give me your name.
Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins.
Right, Officer Meekins. Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month.
But, sir, I didn't know.
Poor guy. Looks like he was absent the day they gave out brains, and good luck. Right. Yes, sir. Ugh. Caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now.
Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright.
The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrolman just now. Also had an injured hand, by the way. Don't think I missed that. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to finally have calmed down at least. Hello again. What a weird mascot. February 22nd, Police Department entrance.
Whew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office?
Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi. The traffic wasn't even that bad. Oh, that's good to know. That's probably going to come up. 30-minute ride, even without traffic. Which means that Edgeworth would have had to leave around 4:42. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on. Why is there a handprint on his face too? What's that?
Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that?
Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot.
Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know that I'd want to go into a police department with that out front. I'd be like, what are we doing here?
Still, he does seem familiar somehow.
Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him?
Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me.
He sure is running over here fast. Hey, Bill. What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. I'm just glad you're alright, man. They said the detective got killed. I was worried it was you. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well...
Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. And this is our chance to get information.
Hey, I'll have you know, I'm a very busy man, pal.
Of course, detective. Very busy.
I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case.
Why not?
Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him.
So Goodman is the victim. But what if she's not telling the truth?
Yes, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her.
But what if the evidence was faked?
Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second?
Huh? Me?
Why is this little girl so peeved at me?
She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister.
Whoa! The chief prosecutor's little sister.
Just please investigate this carefully, okay? Scientifically.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked.
Huh?
It's a sensitive issue with us these days.
Yeah? Well, with Von Karma as well, yeah? So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe?
Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs.
They kicked you out of criminal affairs? Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time?
What do you mean this time?
Then what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all.
It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranking people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all.
None of you? It's not necessarily a good sign. I know this is an important case, but isn't that a little odd?
So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat.
Isn't there anything else you could be doing?
The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall is assigned to the underground parking lot.
Officer Marshall? Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy.
A patrolman in charge of the crimes. It's unheard of, pal.
Examine things here. What the? I was wondering about that.
What, the dancing blue badger? It's my masterpiece.
Did you make that? Oh my gosh. You made this, Detective Gumshoe?
The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal.
Nice work.
It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the batteries die.
Poor blue badger. Fated to dance until he drops. Why is this a part of the... Okay. Yep, as evidence. Great. I can't wait to use that in court. Please direct your attention to this crudely made mascot. Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy.
That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried.
I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes.
And they make a good pair.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white?
No idea. Why?
Well, I think they're designed after a panda.
A panda?
Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory.
Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory?
It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, see?
What about zebras? Or did they just not have those at your zoo?
The banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign.
Nice slogan.
I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprinting sets.
I don't think it's that kind of campaign.
What family wouldn't want a set at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar.
I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. Maybe. You never know.
I always get excited when I come to a police station.
Why is that?
It just feels like I've jumped into a movie.
Huh?
You know, with all the police and criminals.
Well, I don't know if this is all that exciting.
Sure it is. Look at those two officers over there. And they're probably talking about the latest bust.
Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. The detectives in there look pretty busy.
Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action.
Somehow the thought fails to excite me. The usual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911.
You know, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people on these posters. They hardly even look human.
She has a point. Does she? Okay. Hey, that's it. That's the king of prosecutors, a word that Mr. Edward got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edwards for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors. Hold on a second. Is there anything else? There's a plate. Oh, I guess of previous winners.
Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here.
It looks like the name of all the previous recipients are engraved on it.
Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner.
Yeah. That's probably it.
Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime.
No, you would not. When she says it, his name does have a kind of ring to it. Oh, interesting. Let her do it. I mean, you know, they do say don't meet your heroes. That would be a quick and easy lesson. Okay, no, that just lets me look and stare into his eyes. And look at this thing too, I can. Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This is dated the day of the crime.
The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair.
Perhaps.
This goes to show you never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light.
Run a yellow light, get involved in a murder case. Yeah, you know, it's just an everyday occurrence. Look at the knife too, I can.
This must be the victim's blood, right?
Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway?
Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild.
I cannot see that. Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely.
Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman.
Edgeworth? Now there's a scary thought. Alright. Oh, I accidentally did this on my own thing. Oh, there you go.
So this is what the back of the badge looks like. And I always thought it had a safety pin.
Each badge has a number carved into it. And that way you can tell which attorney it belongs to.
You mean you couldn't lend your badge to anyone?
No, it'd be found out right away.
Well, that's no fun.
Right. As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing about things I don't know about. No, I wouldn't want you to do that either. Good. Alright. Maybe. There's things. Let's try. Detective Gumshoe, what could you tell me about this? Oh, hey pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. People like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar. No, my mistake.
But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs?
Whoa. No, I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. And that's what I thought.
Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe?
So, this ID card belonged to the victim. He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman.
Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it?
That's a fair question, actually. If the crime scene was over in the car. Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. Should have been, but was it? Oh, there's one character looking forward for me to meet? Let's see when we meet them. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago.
Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is, the chief prosecutor Sky called him out there, to the parking lot.
And Mom is confessing as much.
Interesting. Found in Mr. Edwards' car, stabbed with Mr. Edwards' knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have, someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth.
The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? We have to find out a little bit more about what's going on with Edgeworth.
We do indeed.
Alright, well.
Okay, no, alright.
Oh, Edgeworth is not here right now. I don't think there's anything new. I'm not going to go through all of this again. Interesting. Person doesn't have anything. Hey, what do you have to say about this? Could you take a look at this? Oh no, okay. Same dang thing. Alright. Yeah. Nope. I feel like it presented Gumshoe with everything. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. Find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. I know. We did that one already. We've done that. We've done that. Detective, here's my trick.
You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge, enough said.
I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice. Wait. Speaking of ID cards, I found the detective's car, didn't I?
Didn't we already talk about this? Or is that just the same order? You can do just about anything these days with a card and the right secret number. Scary.
It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe.
I forget my secret number too a lot. It's scary. But I'm fine after all. What could be wrong with that?
You'll stay out of the conversation.
Oh, I see. That's on me. He's in a tough spot again.
Again?
Yep. Well, it all started with the murder of the defense attorney Hammond.
But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent.
Listen, pal. There have always been rumors about Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting.
But there's no evidence against him.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious.
I had no idea he was under the gun.
Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself.
Oh. What?
But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth has bited the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know.
Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is, and what was his name? The guy in the parking lot?
That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police.
Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something?
No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West LA.
For a moment there, I wasn't sure.
Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you.
Why is that crossed out? Why does it say like 20 bucks?
Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe.
Receiver and Detective Gumshoe allows the bearer to investigate the crime scene. I'd be surprised if this gets us anywhere.
Just act like you're supposed to be there. Nobody will look at you twice, pal.
That doesn't work a lot of times. It definitely does say $20. What the fuck? Hey, look here. It looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe? Let's see. Annual bonus $20. Annual bonus of $20. I think a couple zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right. At least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Alright. Now we should be able to move back to the underground parking lot. There we go. Progress. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. See you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, that must have been the officer. Oh, still here? Hello? Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too. Oh, really? What happened to the security guard?
Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd.
Jake Marshall. A strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Yeah, definitely is. The music, though, is so good. There's something I wanted to ask you.
The scene of the crime. A cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment.
He's asleep? Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? There's something I want to ask you.
Oh, I see.
Would you mind reading this for me?
What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right into the spittoon.
It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe.
may we investigate? Gumshoe. Ah, that old cow dog. You holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then.
Thank you, Officer Marshall.
Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me...
Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher?
Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny.
Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
I hope you all are taking notes. There'll be a test at the end of this case, and however many hours that is. I say I won't be needing this anymore. Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumpled and discarded. Oh, can I actually... Ooh, sorry. Can I actually talk to him now? I can, maybe. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little bit more specific?
Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right?
Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means to witness Miss Angel Star. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Interesting. Interesting time frame on that one.
Was my sister involved with the victim in any way?
Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prospector Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all.
Nothing in common?
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back.
So there's no motive.
Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the Chief Prospector.
But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot.
So it seems. Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Uh-huh. I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina?
So, why are you in charge?
No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime.
That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh?
Edgeworth?
That cow dog's been kicked out of his cattle run by order of the chief of police. He's been deliberately excluded. Just, he doesn't realize it yet.
Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation?
Let's do some examining then. This looks like a cell phone.
Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to.
Edgeworth? Your sister? A random person in this parking lot? What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right, let's check it out. Oh, it's doing that on its own? Okay.
This phone's still on the redial screen.
Redial?
Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it.
Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
Like trying to explain a freaking Motorola Razr to a, you know, to a millennial. Like, yeah, no, I was there. I'm aware of what a flip phone is.
It's just, you never know with people from your generation.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm not that old. Whatever. Let's check this phone out. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last.
Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Hey, that's Sultan, I know that.
Hey, what's going on here? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on the phone, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? It belongs to the chief prospector, Scott. That's what I thought.
What? It's my sister's.
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to these.
Who did she call?
No idea. Sorry, partner. I've got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones.
Oh, that? Oh.
I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number? I hope you're not lying. And they shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Cell phone added. Last call made at 5:18 on the day of the murder.
This rope, is it?
Yep, and they laid it in the outline of the victim's body.
So, wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on it.
You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place at the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car.
Find a luxury car, it just screams I have money to burn.
Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there. And that's where visitors park.
I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance.
Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. You can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy looking steak. That's a choice.
Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy?
What's a little cannibalism? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. Interesting. This is
A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors.
Defense attorneys are relegated to B block.
I dream of the day that I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright.
I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Okay. Little car elevator. Interesting.
So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister?
That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edward himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences.
Officer Marshall.
Yeah, Bambina?
How can you say that? You and my sister, you were...
Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have got into me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you.
Rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prospectors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them.
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. Really? One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky.
What? My sister?
Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What, you're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, that is bound to be bullets. That's what the old timers say. There's a big old secret hiding around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was close to Edgeworth? Interesting. If there's anything else to do here. It will be the prospector's bright red steed came in at trot real slow like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later, so it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is the killer intended to use Edward's car all along? Maybe. Toy shield suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knight, maybe?
Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these.
Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it?
Hey, they could use the same shield over and over.
Note to self, the prosecutor office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap.
You know, they've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. What do you think of the mascot? Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're going to draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas.
Remind me never to visit Texas.
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
My sister's cell phone.
The last time it was used was 5:18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night.
Why did Lana make that call?
That's a good question. Oh, I can't do anything now. Yeah, there it is.
No need to push this again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind, it's nothing.
Okay. Well, there's no point to looking at this, it looks like. Alright. What's that? Some sort of police passport?
This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene.
Good distance in this rat hole? If you want distance, get yourself to Texas.
Texas?
This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre?
Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros.
I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star, shining into the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night.
Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. That's a sheriff's badge.
Well, I think I've used just about everything. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Oh, I can actually read this. That's good to know. Name of deceased, Bruce Goodman, 36, male. Date and time of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from a chest wound. Assessment, wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Back, nope. Hey, nope. Got anything to say about this? As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing on about things I don't know about. Okay. No, nothing. Okay. I feel like I've done everything, though. Like, there's nothing else. Oh, hold on. The trunk. Oh, there you go. Missing one thing.
What's this? Looks like a note of some sort.
67S or 675 12-2 or 212 Goodman. Oh, which way are they gonna rate the dates in this? That could be December 2nd or that could be February 12th.
Look, something's written on it.
You're right. Let's see. 6-7S 12-2. 6 to 7 seconds? I don't know. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed?
Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright.
Sure, Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either.
So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright?
I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone.
So, you think we'll be okay?
Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it.
No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal.
Oh, by the way, Emma,
Yes?
I know that song your phone plays when it rings.
What?
Is that? That's what I thought. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? Caught in 4K. Freaking Steel Samurai fan. Everyone likes the Steel Samurai here. That popular TV show for kids. Okay, to be fair, she is a kid. She's in 11th grade. The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. She tried to call you. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what you talked about?
She hung up right away.
I see. Updated, yep. The detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I got a bad feeling about this. Like maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. We'll save our progress. Oh, we're back in court, everybody. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes, a defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office's lot.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. A professional witness? Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down.
Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl.
Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession?
Ah, and you, sir?
Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. So tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident. Prosecution will wait. Not finished either. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. Oh, boy.
What? Miss Starr was a detective?
Ah, I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Who is this lady?
If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces. Oh,
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes?
the crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk.
Conveniently behind the wall that would block and obscure the security room view. How convenient.
The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Got the floor plans?
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright.
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Stock.
Wait, are they talking about me? Witness account. Alright, let's see what we can do.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finally home detective's intuition at work.
Oh my. I mean, that does in some ways match kind of the little preview we saw.
Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Nice Monty Python reference.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
All right. Let's save real quick. I always knew a day like this would come. And why is that? How did you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that.
Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired?
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well, you may continue, Miss Snob.
Lunchbox to your boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective.
Not that boyfriend, the security card.
That boyfriend, you have several.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunch, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying.
Security guard room is in the lot in A block.
Sure is.
It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there.
And that would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block.
So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime.
When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work.
Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Okay.
My garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
What an odd case this is. The person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her.
She's telling the truth, we're doomed. Just do what we can, even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism.
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? Well...
Photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
The moment of the crime. Interesting. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Skye.
So, what was the defendant doing at that time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand.
Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It's your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs.
Are they?
I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person.
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife, what then?
Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Whitman's chest. How did you know it was good?
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment. The chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we?
For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that.
Somehow I always knew this day would come.
My boyfriend, when I sense something.
You sensed something?
So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I do not follow.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. I saw that she was standing next to a garage car. Was holding a knife in her right hand. And she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. I feel like I've pressed everything.
What do I have? Detective Goodman. And prosecutors. Murder weapon. Parking lot. Can I check this, by the way? Oh, I can't move this around. That's just what I have. Okay. Phone. Parking lot floor plans. Maybe? Alright, let's save. And this could be it, but I'm not entirely sure. My boyfriend. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, no. Okay, that wasn't it. Alright. Sorry. Yep, that's that. hand. Right. Trust the pointy tip of the knife. And that could be it too. Next moment. I know I did that one. I know I did that one. I know I did that one. I feel like I pressed all of them. What could it possibly be? Nope, it's the same thing. Security guard room is in a lot in A block. Yes, I know. Up on the second level. I parked in B block. She was in B block when she witnessed the crime. Something about that. What are my other options here? We have this thing. We have this picture. And she took through the wired fence. I don't want to like process of elimination this. And one's chest. Okay, let me save one more random time. We may just reload if we don't get this one, so they're not entirely up, you know, the creek without a paddle. There's an hour and a half. One knife wound. Do have this. Bruce Goodman, this is when wound was caused by 4.5 inch. Okay, hold on. Just pointing in the knife. Holding a knife in her right hand. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Knowing more about this knife that's carrying. I'll say it was about 4 inches long. Okay. Okay. So between the two. Oh, was she? Maybe. So I tried presenting that when she talked about delivering it to her boyfriend. Yeah, that's what I don't know. Alright, let's try this. don't know, man. Oh, there we go. That is the thing. Maybe. Yeah, that is. Because we moved it. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. Randomly right was indeed the answer. I don't know how. Knew it had to be something with how she was witnessing it. I'm not entirely sure I followed the logic of how that's the right answer.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? And why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? I guess that's a good question.
Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. Well, that was the... Yeah, I was going to say that had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph.
Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you gonna just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ugh, you got a better idea? I'm gonna save since I actually moved forward somehow, randomly. I will actually throw an objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Is that the logic of doing it? Oh, wow. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Again, normal court, objection. That is speculation. You cannot say that that's what happened.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Okay, but wearing gloves does not mean you're planning on murdering someone. Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Those don't look like surgical gloves to... Okay. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ugh.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, and add this to your testimony.
The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. I'm not so sure. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. Well, why wasn't I made aware of that? In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Professor, I'm sorry They took you off the force, mister.
This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, mister, right? Okay. Come on, let's get through this. Okay. Oh gosh darn it. I went too far. I went too far. I went too far. Lunchbox. I'm an idiot. I keep expecting more, but there's not. There's not more to the testimony. Friend, funny home work, or offense. Murder was planned. Okay. So it's got to be something here. It's got to be something here. Let's see. What do we have here? Well, I mean, it can't have been that planned. He only got here at 5:12, 3 minutes before the murder. Maybe? No, the music didn't stop. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's blood. It was Edward's knife, though. I mean, it could be that she called. Could be that. Edward's knife. Why would you plan to use it with a knife? But whatever. Okay, let me load this back real quick. I think I'm gonna have to work through a couple of things. Maybe this one? Nope. That was not it. That was not it. Okay. I mean, it's not the same thing, is it? His plan is to wear a white coat that's gonna get covered in blood. Try the knife. That was it. It's the knife. So same basic logic, just the wrong clue. Which is like, how would it be planned if she was planning on using a knife she theoretically didn't even know existed? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edwards' trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? Bloody murder weapon, a red car? All belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh? The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Order.
Right, now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Miss, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? Can she finish the sentence, though? Can she actually finish that sentence? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Well, you can't say again and again. You can't say again and again. We know there was only one stab wound. Well, that one's a gimme.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. That sounded a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Actually a fair question. Actually a fair question.
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Well, this one's a little easier, theoretically, assuming basic logic. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman, that's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. Had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the king in again and again. We know is false. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
Don't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha, you're right. Good job, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
I'm the one that brought it up. Don't I get any credit? Edgeworth also very clearly does not like this person. Does not like Angel. What about my objection? Nobody noticed?
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, what you're saying, you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Interesting wrinkle.
And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. And that's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Hold on. She wasn't wearing that in this. No, she wasn't wearing her red muffler in this. Hold on, let's save. Yeah, she wasn't wearing this scarf.
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim.
You know, Edward, this helped in the other case, but why are you helping?
And you've proved it yourself. With this photograph. But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Alright. This is pretty brutal.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim.
This next testimony might just be the moment of truth.
Yeah, how'd she get through the fence?
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape. But against Angel's Star, resistance is futile.
Quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Okay, a lot of us are weak against poisonous snake bites. Thank you very much.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum?
Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Oh, that's true. Why didn't I think of that? Just not die to the snake venom. It's all in your mind.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will.
Okay.
Suspect attempted to run behind a petition. I quickly caught her.
But how? Let's save this here. But how did you catch her? What do you mean this wasn't the right one? Oh my gosh.
Does that?
You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her more. No, press her. I'd like to see this on the floor plans. Okay, that's what it was. Order of operations strikes again. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link
Fence in front of me.
I went over it, of course.
over it.
Amazing. The go-hub queen lunch lady athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away?
My earlier testimony. Okay. Let me save this here. Nope, that's the wrong one. That was easy to see. No, that's not the right one. Now do I present it? Nope, that's not it either. Okay. Let me just keep pressing and seeing what I can uncover here. She made to escape? Can you be more specific?
She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras.
Huh?
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum?
With an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
It's on the other side of the partition.
She wanted to escape. Why didn't she run the other way?
The other, huh?
The parking lot and...
The parking lot entrance.
That's right.
It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums.
Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before... finding more, though.
So Miss Sky tried to run. I'm sorry my sister's so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me.
Partition off to her side. So where's the partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. So when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. You heard muffler and you thought scarf and not muffler as in the car part. Uh-huh.
Just that one word.
So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... do I ask further? Do I leave it be? Do I ask further? Do I leave it be? I'm gonna try to ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. It's right near the car. There was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
So she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
Of course, add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Return the call. Okay. She tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. The chief prosecutor is futile. Save again. This isn't really a contradiction, so I don't necessarily want to use it, but... No, it's not right. Instead, this is maybe a little bit. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Okay. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed
Over the chain link fence.
And then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? This is futile. I see. I saw it all as the question. Assume this is this? Yeah. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, this case is getting messier and messier. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you wouldn't have seen it. You couldn't have seen it. What?
Order, what's the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. Can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... I'm going to save my butt. Okay. The question is this a trick question? Is there a deeper meaning to it? That's what I should say. But it's possible it's where she saw it, not necessarily what she saw. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Yep, there we go.
Pointless to lie, I see.
Let's say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Oh, that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
In the security room, visiting her boyfriend. The place where Miss witnessed the crime was here. Well, it's gotta be here. And this is the only place where she could have been.
Security guard room.
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. Why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being a part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. But then how did she get the picture, though? Unless the camera was somewhere else. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the bester of Angel Star.
Order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. The photograph tells all it was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. Does it though? It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Or else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed this crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Distance to the crime. Angle of view to the crime. It does change the angle of view to the crime. I mean, it's also distance. It's technically all of these, but... it is technically all of them. However... I'm gonna go with angle of view. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important, why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright?
Oh boy. It's gotta be distance then to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the car and the guard station is 30 feet. Is that clear from the floor plan? I don't see how that would change what you could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness.
You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass wall station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Huh? Oh, that's a long time. And that's why I had to go through the visitor parking in B block. That's quite a
detour.
That is quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. Well, that tells us a little bit. 5 minutes. The call was placed at 1:18, 3 minutes before. And it only lasted a few seconds.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. All right. On the sporks.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? I believe I do.
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. Phoenix, what is this line of reasoning, my dude? I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah.
Well, then it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. This has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, it appeared to have overestimated those witnesses on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close.
I've heard that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. With that, court is adjourned.
Oh no.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off on me.
I'd prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was it?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
Apologies, but we've no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Ooh, a triple-decker. Out of deference to witnesses' determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Decisive evidence.
You weren't kidding. This is a long case. It was a long investigation and it was a long first day of trial.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye.
The blood type matched? But the blood wasn't? We were this blood type?
This shoe proves it. It's flawless. Decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe.
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today.
Giving Edgeworth some of his own medicine.
Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Also true. It's very true. I mean, we've stolen a lot of evidence that we just kind of pick up and present for no reason. Like look at these plates. Look at these steak plates that people ate off of that I've been hoisting around in my pocket. I don't think that followed the chain of custody, right? The chain of evidence law that's supposed to.
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law. Really?
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Well, no, it does say traces from Goodman and Lana Syke. Or Sky, not Syke. Ooh.
Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Decisive evidence. See what I can come up with here.
I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here. It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox back, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. So tell us what you did next.
Two types of blood. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up.
Well, blood comes in 4 types: A, B, O, and AB. More than that, but okay. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether murder was committed in cold blood. All right, bud, what angle are we going for here?
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. And they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lena Skies.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that.
All it's decisive evidence, is it now? I don't think it is.
Do I have anything that I can use here?
A shoe. Hold on. Oh, I can rotate. That's interesting. Hold on.
There's blood here too.
So that's not blood splattered on the
Sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue. Yeah, I think it is.
This blood, it's my sister's, right?
It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
Poor sis.
Interesting, interesting. Now, we've done all we can with this. Looks like. Okay. Let me save again. It was in the sky. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. Let's see if we can do this. So you brought it to the forensics department. You're going to submit something as evidence in court you needed to prove. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
She does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Hold on, what was it? There's another option after that. Shoe proves it. False decisive evidence. You can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your blind. He's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem?
This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I'm gonna say yes, there's a problem because I don't want to deal with this shoe. So, yes, there's a problem. I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. Just don't ask me what it is. I need to find out.
That gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
So what Mr. Wright has to say? What is contradictory about the victim's shoe?
Oh no. Well, it would be the bottom blood stain, presumably. Let's hope it's right. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Although, yeah.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe?
My guess is probably... Oh, I don't get to save either, huh? Do I? Well... I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too? You just shot yourself in the foot. Ugh. Would you like a grinder? Oh, so that wasn't right. Man, tough crowd. Examine the evidence. Okay. Well, that's a good hint. We're gonna load back just so I don't completely die to all of this. Yes, there's a problem. Okay. I mean, this definitely feels like I'm on the right track. Let's see. I need to examine everything. So it's not this one. Don't think it's the knife. And that or Edgeworth cut himself. Okay. Examine the evidence. Is it this one again? I mean, there's no pool of blood on the bottom there, of the floor. Where would he have stepped in it? Maybe. Ah, there he goes. Hello. Welcome on in, it's Ghosty. How are you doing? All right. The problem is in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Oh. As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. This contradicts your claim about the shoe. The picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. And then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order, order. Well, witness.
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. I'm gonna safety save right about now. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. Well, at least you're honest, Phoenix. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to what she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator. This one, a levered woman. Hurrah. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Ah, you don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. to erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Okay. What?
Everything's up quite nicely. Bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. And after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. And that reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? It's true. So, that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason for prolong this trial.
But Mr. Wright, do something, please. Oh, give me a second. Let me think this through, alright? What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. I mean, yes. She could have been lying about the water.
Court finds the defendant Miss Lana Sky.
Little girl, what did you just say? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, writers don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this.
A photograph.
That's interesting. And just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Is it already wet? Oh, and there's something in the muffler, by the way. Which I figured out from earlier. There's something definitive in that muffler that we weren't able to see. Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well, it's time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Well, there's something in the muffler. Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I think later. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
Well, since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
What is this? The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
For just a moment, Mr. Edward.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no traces of a muffler or the scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. That's why you think this piece of cloth and muffler is related to this case.
Now do I finally get to use the phone? Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. And that's what had me confused my earlier testimony. Muffler? Ugh. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
Find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. Leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Phew, that was close. But we made it. At least for now.
Court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry?
To be continued. Former trial ladder. This day of the trial isn't even over yet. Oh my word. Alright, well. To be continued is to be continued. We will pick this back up next time. Presumably on Wednesday will be the next stream, and I'll be streaming this. Probably going to be streaming this all week with the rate this case is going. It's been over 3.5 hours, and we are still on the first day of the trial. So that's always fun. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. We'll do a quick raid in a second. We'll find someone to raid to say goodnight. But thank you all for coming. Thank you all for stopping by and tuning in. It's always great to have you all here. Hope you remember to drink some water, eat some food, get some sleep. Take care of yourself the best of your ability. For the VOD on YouTube, and this is where we say goodbye. So I hope you all are doing well. Bye.